What's up, guys? I'm LQ. This is the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here at my YouTube channel. This is where we talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we love to talk about. Movies, video games, comic books, and TV shows. And right now I'd like to give you guys my review of Season 2 of Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. Came out yesterday on Netflix. And my son and I, we binge watched the entire thing last night. My son is one of the biggest Jurassic World fans on the face of the planet, and he's upstairs binge watching it again right now. And that might be an indicator of how much he liked it, because he's watching it all again. Just to be clear, he's 12 years old and he loved it. So the target audience, success, because they got it. He got it. He loved it. So what did I think of it? You know, an adult who likes the Jurassic Park movies, loves some of the Jurassic Park movies, and really likes the world that Jurassic World set up. What did I think of it? Well, to be honest with you, I thought it was pretty darn good. Now, the first season, if you remember, I reviewed the first season here, and I liked it. The first season ran concurrently with the first Jurassic World movie, the fourth movie overall, but the first in the Jurassic World trilogy. The first season ran concurrently with that, where you got these kids in Camp Cretaceous, chaos ensues, the kids end up having to try to get to Main Street so they can be rescued, and they don't get there. They don't get there. They run into dinosaurs, bad stuff happens, and they don't make it there, and everybody is evacuated off the island before the kids can get there. And the kids are probably assumed dead. And season 1, I was so impressed that they ended the season 1 that way, with the kids being stranded on the island, filled with dinosaurs. And that was it at the end of season 1. They left it. Now, thankfully, we didn't have to wait that long. What was it? About a 3-month turnaround between season 1 and season 2. Keep on doing that, Netflix. I don't want to wait that long for season 3. So the kids are stranded on the island, and they have come up with a plan for rescue. You know, they know that there's a beacon on the island that they can turn on to signal for help, and that is their first plan: is to find that beacon, turn it on so they can signal for help. But what happens when that beacon is right in the middle of the T-Rex nest? So there's some fun sequences early in this season that surround the T-Rex, simply because they have to go into the T-Rex nest to turn on this beacon. Now, the T-Rex obviously was not featured at all in season 1. The T-Rex was busy fighting the Indominus Rex, and it was in its cage for most of the season, and then it fought the Indominus Rex, and then it got out. And I did like how they referenced, wow, looks like something big happened here. It looks like and they eventually made the connection that it was the T-Rex versus the Indominus. And obviously that's a callback to the Jurassic World movie. So, they are able to infiltrate the Rex nest, and then they decide, hey, let's go back to Camp Cretaceous. If anybody does come rescue us, that's where they're gonna look for us, is at Camp Cretaceous. So let's go back. So they go back to Camp Cretaceous, and they run into a group of people. They realize they're not alone on the island. There's somebody else there. They go find the group of people, and they realize that these people are ecotourists, there to take pictures of the dinosaurs. And before the dinosaurs are all taken care of by the government, they're there to take pictures of the dinosaurs. So they go there. The kids are ecstatic. They go back to camp with these ecotourists, and they think they're going to be rescued. They think they're going to be taken home in a couple days, but not everything is as it seems. Turns out that these ecotourists are not really ecotourists. They are big game hunters. They are big game hunters who have come to the island for the sole purpose of shooting dinosaurs and mounting their heads. And, there's a message in here that I partially agree with and I partially don't agree with. They really paint big game hunters as horrible, evil people here. And, I've done my research on big game hunting in Africa. And, I feel like that's really what what this narrative is attacking here. I've done my research, and big game hunting supports entire communities. They make enough money off of it to support entire communities, and it also helps to keep the populations healthy there. So yeah, we can call them evil people for going and killing animals for trophies, but there's a reason why it's legal, and there's a reason behind it. Now, are there people who go there and poach and do horrible things to animals? Absolutely, and that's absolutely evil, and that's really what these people are doing here. They're hunting without a license, they're hunting without authorization, and that's called poaching, and that's illegal. But they didn't call them poachers in this show. They called them big game hunters. So, they're blurred line. I don't have a problem with big game hunting when it's done legally. I do have a problem with poaching, and that is evil, and that is something that is awful. So these people were painted obviously as very awful people, and the kids, not only do they have survival to deal with, not only do they have the dinosaurs to deal with, but now they have real antagonists to deal with. People on the island who are bad, who are also armed. There was some nice moments. One of the travelers with the big game hunters, a guy named, what was his name? Hob? Was his name Hob? Han or Hob? He ended up having a very nice arc. Something that he was a character I very much enjoyed. I very much enjoyed seeing them develop this character. Somebody who takes people on big game hunts. Obviously when he realized what was happening with the kids, his trajectory his character trajectory in the series went in a different direction. And I really enjoyed the character, and I enjoyed seeing them develop him, and I enjoyed seeing his relationship with the kids be developed. Very, very good character. And on that note, they did not shy away from killing people. Now, I said this in my review for the first season, that it was a very violent show, given the fact that it was a kids show, and they did not shy away from that here. It's still very much a violent show. People die. Adults die, and none of the kids die, but adults die, and I appreciated the fact that they did not sanitize a Jurassic Park movie just because it was made for kids. There are consequences. There are dangerous predators out there that will hurt you if you get in their way, or if you just aren't careful. And I appreciated the fact that they did not ignore that. One of the big cliffhangers from season 1 was the Ben character, kind of the nerdy character, and at the end of season 1, he fell off the monorail. The kids presumed him to be dead, and he had a very nice storyline about halfway through the series where we find out what he was doing the whole time, and we find out how much his character has changed the whole time. And he had a very nice character arc that saw him become kind of a hapless nerd to a very effective survivor in Jurassic World. And we also saw his pet Bumpy, the Ankylosaurus, and how that relationship has continued to develop, which is one of the highlights of the show. It's a little silly. It really is. It's a little silly seeing a relationship between a person and a dinosaur like that. But as my son pointed out, is it any sillier than Chris Pratt's character making friends with raptors? Not really. Owen being the alpha of a raptor pack, it's not really any more silly than that. So I get it. It was definitely fun to see the different dinosaurs featured in this season. Last season was mostly focused on the Carnotaurus Toro, and Toro did make a return in this episode. Although he was not the main dinosaur antagonist. But as my son points out, there are no dinosaur antagonists. They're just doing what they do. Just a good kid. The dinosaurs that were probably featured the most in this, obviously Rexy, the T-Rex, was featured a lot, especially towards the beginning of the series, or the beginning of the season and the end of the season. But the Baryonyxes. There were 3 Baryonyxes that were featured heavily. And one of the Baryonyxes was clearly supposed to be the one that was after after Claire in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. If you remember when they're inside the building and the lava's coming down and the baryonyx is trying to get them, clearly that was the same baryonyx. I mean, they looked exactly the same. The color scheme, everything was exactly the same. So it was a nice bit of connective storytelling there. So is this... So, before I go there, this series does end with the kids solving their problem with their antagonist, the two hunters. But they are not rescued at the end. They are not rescued. They are still on that island. They're still stranded there, and they're still having problems. So season 3 is coming, and rumor has it season 3 is coming soon. Within a few months. And that's good news, because I don't want to wait too long, because this has really been a good season, or a good series. So, and that was where I was going next. Kids are going to love this. Kids, who, especially boys and girls who love Jurassic World, they're going to love this. They're going to eat this up. The characters, it's a very diverse cast. And, you've got a cast full of different personalities, different ethnicities, and all of it makes for a cast that somebody... every kid is going to be able to identify with one of these kids. They're going to be able to see themselves in one of these kids. And what we have here is a very effective group of kids who are very competent, but also make mistakes. And that's something that kids are also going to resonate with and identify with. Are adults going to like this? Yeah, I think so. I think so, especially if you like Jurassic World. If you like Jurassic World, you are going to like this. Like, I forget why I'm watching it. This is animated. I'm just sucked in by the story. This is very competent, very good Jurassic Park storytelling. And there's just enough Easter eggs and just enough nods to the movies that keeps things, oh, I see what you did there. But it also stands on its own and does its own thing and tells its own story that is worthy of being told in the Jurassic Park canon. So I definitely appreciate that. So yeah, I think that if you are an adult that likes Jurassic Park, you should watch this, because I think you're going to have a good time with it. Is it going to affect the stories moving forward? Are any of these kids going to pop up in Dominion? Probably not. But you don't have to have everything be connected. This isn't Avengers Endgame. There is the potential to tell good, self-contained side stories in the Jurassic Park universe. And that's the type of thing I think they should be doing more of. So, yeah, I thought this was really good. I thought it was really good. So that is my take on Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Season 2. What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. And while you're giving me your thoughts, hit that subscribe button. I put out a lot of content, and I want to make sure that you're up to date with what I'm doing. And as always, thank you so much for joining me right here at the LQ Review, where we get to talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we'd love to talk about. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.